When you are in a satsang of a Mahatma, you will realize the last chapter is taken care. This is Bhagavata Dharma. That the last chapter I am going to go to Krishna. I am going to let me do whatever I want to do. Let me follow all my dreams, whatever it is. But then I will be convinced my last chapter is taken care. I don't have to worry about it. When the last chapter is taken care, I can enjoy the entire novel of my life without any deep concern. Of course, I will have superficial concerns. I will have superficial tensions. But deep inside, I don't feel insecure. Deep inside, I know it's taken care. This is the power of Bhagavata Dharma. Once you start realizing the compassion of Bhagavan, compassion of Mahatmas, compassion of a Guru, it empowers you to lead a life which, and you will actually be ready when you are, because you won't chant out of fear or a hope that, chanting is punyam, when you do. Our Sri Anna says, Prema mane nama mithai. This nama is mithai. And so, that's why our Swamiji very beautifully, when somebody came and asked him, he gave Diksha. Our Diksha is not elaborated, no condition at all. That's beauty with our Satsang or any Bhagavata Dharma, Satsang of Mahatmas, the condition is Padamata. They won't say, this is what you need to eat, this is what you need to dress, this is when you need to chant. This is a style, you see. It's the style. It's a style. This is Bhagavata Dharma, krupa style. The Mahatma has complete confidence. In one word, Tesham aham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So a Mahatma, our Swamiji was once approached by a person who came for Namadiksha. Namadiksha happens very casually. He would say chant and he will give his guru's dhyana shloka. He remembers the guru and as a tradition, as a lineage, he gives that Hare Rama to that person. Person got it, then he had a question. How many times should I chant this? You know what Swamiji said? Once. He was shocked. He was so happy. He walked 2 steps back. Then he came back. After chanting once, what do? Chant once more. That's all it takes. This is the Nama Siddhantam. Chant once. And after chanting, chant once more. Since you are all IT people, go to step 1. Go to the... This is what is Nama. The moment I pressurize myself into too many conditions, I don't think you can relish it. That's why I am saying this boldly is, all the Mahatmas, starting from Adi Shankara Bhagavadpada, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shastras, Vallabhacharya, Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, our Sri Anna, our own Swamiji, everybody says for the name, you don't have any conditions. Because at some point of time, you get mature to relish every name you chant. And if it is done under pressure, how can you relish? You see? And so they say that there is no conditions for Nama. Chant whenever you can. Our Guru's Guru, Sri Anna, was once approached by a person last year. He was not physically, Tirumeni was not Pang. In that state also, 90 years of 90 Tirunakshatram, or the 90 years of decorating the earth, and a person approached him and asked him, Guru Maharaj, you please initiate Nama to me. Immediately he initiated, even in that frail health, in the physical plane. Of course, they are all Mahatmas, Avatara Purushas. And then the person asked, how many times should I chant? When all should I chant? Tamil la ketta, evvalavu na jabikanu, eppo jabikanu. You know what he answered? Whenever possible you chant, how much so ever possible you chant, that is enough. Can you imagine the sense of or security a person receives from it? Because Bhagavata Dharma does not work on guilt. It works on Bhagavan's compassion. And one thing I learned is I don't want to do anything out of guilt. I don't want to do anything out of fear. If I do it, it should be out of my compassion or out of my purpose. You see? And then you lead a very full life of responsibility. I am not very happy with any path, whether religious or non-religious, which prods you by guilt. You see? That's not how a human should live, isn't it? So here, Adi Shankara Bhagavadpada, in Vishnu Sahasranama bhashya, there is a question asked by Yudhishthira. Ko dharmas sarva dharmAnAm bhavatah paramo mataha kin japan muchyate jantuhu janma sansara bandhanat. He is asking, Ko dharmas sarva dharmAnAm bhavatah paramo mataha. As per your matam, as per your opinion, hey Bhagavan, you please tell me which dharma is the supreme dharma. The answer is Vishnu Sahasranama. You take even one nama of Vishnu Sahasranama, chanting the divine name is the supreme dharma. For that, Adi Shankara Bhagavadpada, Advaitacharya is writing, Asya stuti lakshanasya kirtanasya atikye kim karanam uchyate ahimsa purushantara dravyantara kalantara deshantara prakarantara anapekshitvam atikye karanam. What it means is that our Adi Shankara Bhagavadpada says the state of Brahma Tattva or state of Atma Sakshatkara is there in all the Upanishads. But then the sadhana to do it for all common people is in Sahasranama. That's why he wrote the bhashya for all these three texts, which is Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, to show the state of being. And then as a sadhana he is showing, if you do Nama Sankirtana, you will actually attain that state which is explained in Upanishads. And so he is saying that the greatest dharma is dharma of chanting the divine name. The first reason being ahimsa. There is no himsa in Nama Sankirtan. You don't even have to cut a flower for Nama Sankirtan. Adu konja himsa dane. Pujaiki you can cut a flower. For a Vedic sacrifices, some parts of our Sanatana Dharma allows what is called as Bali. But then for Nama Sankirtana you don't have to even break a coconut. Or break your head on the list to be taken enna panna. Call everybody. If possible, prasadame Nama dhan prasadam. Nama prasad. Everybody chant, everybody. Nama chaketi, Nama chateti, koti kulam uddhar. What prasadam today? Nama prasad. Nama prasadam. So it is only Nama prasad. You came, you got Nama, did it taste well? Avaladan kalambu. Porum. The feast matter, you need for puja, for Radha Kalyanam. It is celebration. Nama is something like Nitya Karma for us, you see. Adhikku you don't need a socks for it, na? Brush paniya, good job. For LKG, UKG, right. And my son brushed my teeth, I just said good job and came. How old is he? 35 years. Nalla. So all this good job, we tell ourselves. Over time, it should be part of our DNA, na? We wake up and chant, pirsav panitom, moochu udromono. You know what? I breathe today. Nama should become as natural as breathing. Bhagavan will give us ample time for that. That's why Mahatmas don't force us. Mahatma la force manamata. Eppo mudiyumo chant. Whenever possible chant. So Nama's first greatness is Adikyam. Adikyam na greatness. It is like in the number one of all dharmas. Reason Adi Shankara Bhagavadpada is saying ahimsa. No himsa. Second is kalantara anapekshitvam. Any time you can chant. In the night at 2 o'clock, if you don't feel like it, you can't open your puja room and start doing puja. There is a time for puja. There is a time for other activities. There is a time for even japam. When you do a proper mantra japa with pranava and bijakshara, unless you are a upasaka of that mantra, you are not supposed to do it whenever you want. You see, there is a proper way to. It is like inviting a guest to your body. When you do proper Vedic mantras, you are actually invoking the deity in your heart only, not outside. And so you need to invoke it properly. There is a proper procedure. You have to do it properly. If you don't tell the mantra properly, you have to face the consequence of it. Because mantras or the shabdam is the mantra. There is no rupa and all for mantra. The shabda of the mantra is the mantra. So when you talk about Vedic mantras, there are conditions obviously. Like you have some drugs which says prescription medicine. Sir, why sir? The medicine can cure also. But if you don't have the disease and eat it, it has side effects also. So they protect it. Likewise, you have to have a very high perspective. Don't go with a regular mainstream narrative. They are all mischievous narratives. Some things have to be protected because it cannot be played around with. At least with the drug, since it's physical, we'll understand. But mantras have far more deeper consequence if you don't do it properly. And all the random mantras of some deities which are not sattvika deities has to be touched with very great care. And if you get caught there, it will, either ways happen. So these all you should know. Being spiritually, you should be aware. But Nama is not like that. Anytime, any way you want. Even Rama, you can't tell properly. Maran sonna kuda you will find it. Valmiki Maranar. He found Rama. And once we were all traveling in a car to Kumbakonam. Swamiji was in the side seat and we were all behind. And we had this question that, in Tulsidas ji once says, Ulatam japatam ek jana Valmiki baye brahma samana that Valmiki did ulta japa. He didn't even say Rama, he said Mara. And he became Brahmanyani, Brahma Samana. You see, Paramam Samyam Upaitin Ronliya. He became a Brahmanyani. And how is it possible? Generally we are talking, and we are just talking about ourselves. Swamiji overheard. Then he said, what are you discussing? He said, Guruji, Umba Anyayam. Our Bhagavan's krupa is very, very anyayam. That somebody did Mara and he also gave fruits to this. And our Swamiji said, he looked around and there were wonderful green lush crops. We are going actually into the Tanjavur belt. It is like a granary of Tamil Nadu. So he looked at all the crops and said, do you see the krupa of Bhagavan in these crops? He said, yeah, without food we won't live. Do you know how these crops come? And generally Guruji will always find a way to sort of, 30 acres. You were all born in Madras. You will have no idea. When the army you were all born in Madras. For you, what is the source of rice? Not department store. And for you, boiled rice and normal rice comes from two different crops. Pudungalarsi krapa, pacharisi krapa, and ketakalallam undu. So all that he was saying, and then he said, look here, do you know how they sow the seeds there? Even if you buy a fridge or a TV, on the packaging, they will say this side up, top, bottom. If you have the washing machine upside down, clean clothes will become dirty when it comes out. But everything we use which are man-made are typically having directional, which is this is top, this is bottom. Few things are symmetrical, of course. But the krupa of Bhagavan is, if he had ever designed a seed, he could have, if he had wanted to, which said, unless you sow with this side top, this side bottom, crop won't come out. What will happen to us? They just throw the seeds on the field after they plow it. And even if the seed comes ulta, sida, side, eppadi ponalum, the crop is always straight. And Swamiji said, likewise, Bhagavan's krupa, whether you say Rama or Mara, the seed can be here or there, but the fruit is always straight. First. Adunala, krupa of Bhagavan. And hence our Swamiji says, prakarantara anapekshitvam. Adunala, generally, when we say Rama, Mara, eppadi potalum, the fruit is always straight. So, prakarantara anapekshitvam. If you say Hare Krishna first, Hare Rama first, does not make any difference as per our tradition. Where even if you say Krishna alone, porum, Rama alone, porum, Hare Namaha, porum. You see? And hence, Nama has no shuddhs at all, is what I am coming to. You see? And so there is no shuddh at all. So whenever a child comes and asks a shuddh question, our Swamiji very beautifully makes it as a good question. You see? He says, when should I chant? You could chant in the morning. That's all. If I'm busy in the morning, afternoon. If you're busy in morning and afternoon, evening. Busy morning, afternoon, evening, tungarthu munadi busy in solladu. You could chant just before going to bed, na? Do that. Simple. Could. The child is happy. Yeah, that's all. One person asked, when I'm chanting, I fall asleep, what do I do? When you wake up, continue. Exactly what he said. You should not sleep while chanting. They are practical people. So the shuddhu andale problem. Where there is shuddha, there is kali also. Because the more and more condition-based paths are there, more and more we need to violate the conditions because that's not the way life has changed. So we can't be proper in those ways. So Bhagavan decided, let there be a condition-free path, which is the path of Nama Sankirtana. The first question they asked in the Sanatana Dharma and well-being, why is Kirtan so much stressed, is because it is the last resort for all of us if you want to connect with divinity. This is not what we want everybody to do at the expense of other paths. No. But if you can't do anything else, don't worry, there is a path for you. There is a net to catch you. You see. That's what is the intent of showing Nam Sankirtana to everybody. Not to go against the existing tradition. This supplements everything, you see. And so, there is no Deshantara, Kalantara. Anytime you can chant. And I must have told you, there was this lady who was a very pseudo-astrology lady, you see, which means she has read something, but she thinks she knows everything in astrology and gets into trouble. Okay? So she comes and takes Tirtham from her Swamiji, then she has a question. And She asked Swamiji, can I chant mahamantra doing Yamagandam? Bhashyam. And Swamiji called one of us and said, answer that question to her. And we said, of course, Mamiji, anytime you want, you can chant, no problem. Swamiji asked, what did you tell her? And the person said, I told her, anytime you can chant. I said, he says, this is not the way to tell her, call her. And Swamiji very beautifully, the mannerisms are beautiful. He was about to give tirtham, he stopped the tirtham and said, you are asking me whether to chant during Yamagandam or not. Do you know what I think? Whenever you are not chanting, it is Yamagandam. So better chant whenever you remember you are not chanting. What do you lose? While cooking you can chant, while walking you can chant. Anytime you can chant. Any time is the right time for you to chant. Deshantara anapekshitvam. Deshantara anapekshitvam means any place you can do it. In the midst of the sea, you can do it. Tomorrow, if your grandson is doing a graha pravesam in Mars, Agnikariyam panna mudiyuma mudiyadha enakku therilla. Because there has to be bhusparsham. Though karma bhumi definition la eppadi expand agunu enakku theriyala. But one thing you can do there. You can very well do nama pravesham. And paadidam talattayum, paadidam bhaktarayum, pavanamakidam, kirtanam paadidam. If you chant mahamantra like we all did this place has become divine. Why? Because nama is Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam is Nama. That's why Bodhendra Swamiji in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Mahatmas said Nama Brahmam. You see, Nama is Brahmam. Brahmam is Nama. There is no difference between these two. And that is the beauty of this path of Bhagavata Dharma. And so Deshantara, Kalantara, Prakarantara, Anapekshit. It does not rely on any condition. It does not rely on any other act. It can independently give us the fruit. And that is why Mahatmas, starting from Adi Shankara Bhagavadpada to the current Mahatmas of all the traditional, they have told Nama Sankirtana and Gati. And whatever we can do, we cannot do. Try our level best to do whatever we are continuing to doing, but add Nama to it, because that is the one which will completely purify. Like you add ghee to everything, you add Nama to it, you see. And that is what is Bhagavata Dharma in practical plane. Attend satsang whenever possible. I know you paid $100 for swimming class. You paid $250 for your gym. You must have paid $300 for your music concert. Satsang is free, yeah. Adunala, you decide financially, which is not a very intelligent way to decide. You see, we think that since I paid $200 for that party, I need to go there. And satsang, I not paid anything. So value, I need to get the money for there and not here. It's not a very intelligent way of doing it. Forget what you paid. Think about what you will get. You see, satsang at least once a month or once a week will rejuvenate you. And a little bit of thought beyond the roj ka janjat, roj ka trifles. You come a little time, spend a little time thinking about Bhagavan, chanting the divine, praying. It will greatly empower you. And there is, like we enjoy, eating separately, we also enjoy eating as a group with friends. Likewise, you enjoy your praying at your puja room. That's an individual prayer. But also enjoy with all like-minded people. It's called Satsangam, where at least in this place, we are all trying to remember Bhagavan and forget all the unnecessary aspects of our world. And that will empower us, which is the reason why Swamiji has made all these devotees who are very selfless. They have their own family. They have their own job. Yet they ask you, they follow up with you and say, please come to satsang. And so whenever possible, come now. And get a little blessings of Bhagavan. Nama sunna, Bhagavan is happy. No doubt about it. Namakku theriyadho illiyo, he is happy. You see. And when we chant Nama and do the prayers reach Bhagavan. So at least we should develop we have developed our physical quotient. We all work out, we all run during summers. And we all buy, treadmill during winter. We run during summer, buy a treadmill during winter. And wait for the sun to come out, and we are all physically fit. And we take care of our resources, we are shrewd financial planners, we know how to save for our children education, very good. And we are very good intellectually also. We keep abreast with what is happening. Intellectual quotient is taken care. Emotionally also, I hope you are all doing fine by talking and having good leisure activities. Spiritual quotient also have to be improved. And that comes from satsang alone. And if that is taken care, generally the other quotients are also impacted positively. And that is the reason why I am appealing to you as a brother. Try to come together, do satsang, do a simple naam and kirtan, and make sure the children chant like this. They have to face Bhagavan and chant, not you and chant. Offering, you see. When they sing in satsang, it's offering. Here it is purely out of love. I am able to sing, I am offering my talent of singing to Krishna. I don't want kudos, I don't want claps for me. I want Krishna to be happy. I told this to Detroit once. There was a little girl, now she's a doctor by the way. She was a little girl when I went there. And I told that, and somehow she took it very seriously. Next day her mother told her, can you go and sing that Guruji's Madhura Geetamna? Immediately she went straight to Srinivasa Perumal Sannidhi in Detroit temple. And she sang before Perumal. And tears started rolling from my eyes, saying that இப்படிதான் இருக்கணும் இல்லையா? அது சத்சங்கத்துல சில குழந்தைங்கள்லாம் they will get touched. They come from some vasanas which you don't know. And allow them to flower in spirituality. யாரும் சன்னியாசி எல்லாம் போக மாட்டா, கவலையப்படாது. ஏன்னா அவன் வெளில பார்ட்டி பண்ணா பயப்பட மாட்டேன்றேன், சினிமா போனா பயப்பட மாட்டேன்றேன், சத்சங்கம் போனா மட்டும் ஏன் பயப்படுறேன்னு புரிய மாட்டேன் இல்லையா? That we believe in everybody raising a family of Bhagavatas. We want the tradition to live. You will be happy if they marry and bring children, so that there will be somebody to sing Nama before our family deity. There should be somebody to sing Nama all the time before our Krishna for generations to come. That is how we want it to happen. And that is why we have this satsang. So all are welcome. Chant the divine name. It doesn't matter which tradition you come from. Everybody come together in the spirit of oneness, as we are all Hindus. And we can all do mahamantra. Pray to our Swamiji. If any of you want to actually take initiation, come to our ashram. Just meet our Guruji once, take the Nama, you can be on your own. The actual penance of our Swamiji is there in the Nam. திரும்பி கூட நீங்க வந்து அவரை பார்க்க வேண்டிய அவசியமே கிடையாது. Nama will take care of you. You see, that's what is called Nama Bhiksha. When you go to a Mahatma, he gives us Nama Bhiksha. And that Nama will take care of us. You see, that's more than enough. I don't see Mahamantra different from my Guruji. And when you chant Mahamantra, you are already under the grace of all Mahatmas. So that is the beauty of this part. Simple. And generally we request all the children daily do a routine. Because the currency for spiritual flowering is Shraddha. You see. Shraddha, having a faith in something so that we may come to realize it later in life. Okay. And so Shraddha means day in and day out you do it, irrespective of your mood, irrespective of the circumstances. So we are not asking spend 2 hours, spend 2 minutes, do it daily though. And daily after, make it a habit. Easiest way is to piggyback on other habits. You see, that's how you develop a new habit. Make it something related to something which you do daily. That's why Mahatma said, Takana, you do a puja. So you won't miss it because we don't miss bathing every day, right? Let me check that. I'm assuming so much out here. One of the girls earlier, not in our satsang, she said, I have to leave for school very early in the morning, 5:45 or something, she said. Then I said, do you take bath? She said, of course I take bath. Eppo na beauty sleep on. Night put. So I told her, whenever you take bath, after that bath, even if it's in the night, spend 2 minutes and you chant Mahamantra 11 times. And she was very, to this day she's bathing in the morning nowadays, but she's chanting after bath. So that's what we want. And it does not mandate you to take bath and chant. But I'm trying to put a routine. And the routine and the routine is called niyamam in Sanskritam. Niyamam gives you tremendous strength, tremendous confidence in your own self. Even the niyamam is only 2 minutes. When you don't miss a niyamam, you feel very confident. And if the niyamam is chanting the divine name, it adds to your well-being. So that's what we request people. Other things are very difficult. If they do well and good, if they can tell Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sanam Vishnu. If they can't also, this is the last resort. You see, let them at least chant Nama daily for 2 minutes, which means the parents need to embrace it first. It can't be subcontracted. Nowadays we have subcontracted even prayers. Once I went to Andal Kovil in Srivilliputturu. And there somebody has given Archana for the child's marriage. And they were very concerned. The child was also there. The girl was also there. And the butter or the priest took the thing and he was ready to go and do Archana. Now they are for a critical prayer. The moment he took it inside the Sannidhi, all the 3 of them started browsing their phone. You see? We are here to pray. Even during that time, can't we detox ourselves from dopamine? And then I understood, we also, of course the priest will pray for you. But should we also not participate in the prayer? After all, it's our prayer. We should not, be very superficial. We should really pray for it. Number heartful prayer. It will certainly be answered. That is the beauty of Bhagavata Dharma. It's a simple path of the divine name, simple path of listening to the greatness and beauty and sweetness of Bhagavan, and a simple path of remembering Bhagavan every now and then, and filling our day as much possible with the divine name, along with whatever we do. So when somebody asks me, can I chant the name whenever I do anything else? I said, yes, you can, but I know where you are going. That 2 minutes you are not going to do anything else. And I said, while I am actually browsing, can I chant? Of course you can chant. But then you have 2 minutes which is reserved for Bhagavan. At that point of time, stop everything else and just chant. Remember, Bhagavan has come home and he is just standing before us. At that point of time when you are welcoming Bhagavan, would you multitask? So the reason is, at least for the 2 minutes, let us focus on divinity. Let us stop everything else. 2 minutes. And if you can make it 3, well and good. If you want 1, well and good. But at least some part of our day, a small bit of time every day, let us focus only on the divine name. It will tremendously improve your spiritual quotient, your confidence, your faith. I already told you, faith is the opposite of fear, not courage technically. And faith annuls fear, which is the path of our Sanatana Dharma or Bhagavata Dharma. So what we do is, we shall all together chant for about 5 minutes. If you can chant with faith, well and good. At least chant for faith, if you want a little more. Don't think faith is a done deal. Faith is a work in process, you see. Work in progress. And our Swamiji gave a good example. Remember that for you to understand what I am saying. Generally, when a priest comes home to do Ganapati Homam, he comes night times to do Ganapati Homam. When he comes to do Ganapati Homam, if you observe carefully, Ganapati Homam is there to remove all obstacles, right? That's why we do that. Vigneshwara. Before he starts Ganapati Homam, it will be very funny. He will take a little haldi, a little bit of manjal, make a Ganapati and do a Ganapati puja before doing Ganapati Homam. Sir, Pandate Ganapati Homam. Apri inna sir Ganapati puja? You ask him, you know what he'll answer? For Ganapati Homam to happen without obstacles, I am doing Ganapati puja. Puriyado? Andamari chant with faith. But faith illana, chant for faith. Then you chant with faith. This Swamiji said that in Madurai, you see. And that is the easiest way for us to grow in spirituality. So shall we all chant for the next 10 minutes and chant for faith. Let me have more faith in Bhagavan. Let me have more faith in the divine name. You see, that would take us far in this wonderful journey of spirituality. Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.